So I know I had an epiphany last night. This self-expression that I've been engaged in on cyberspace for quite a few many years, it's not about trying to elicit sympathy from people per se. It's simply about trying desperately, aching, needing to be understood. For people to understand why I turned out the way that I did. You know? People write books for that. People write autobiographies. I read an incredible book called When Rabbit Howls. I don't know if I read the book Sybil. I watched the movie Sybil. I read, I Never Promised You a Rose Garden. You know, I want to be understood, okay? You're not going to understand me via my family. My family wants to shut me the fuck up, okay? My father called me a liar. He wanted me to tell my newfound brother that I had lied about what my father had put me through when I was a teenager. And the sad thing is my father really believes it. He even said, in regards to his girlfriend at the time, who apparently he still associates with her, at least keeps in touch with, just ask Diane, or about the brother that never lived with us, who actually was the product of my father reaping what he sowed, because his wife at the time, who he had been cheating on while he was still with my mom, who he never loved. My mom was weak, and she would go to where he was fooling around, and they would lie with her or whatever, just ridiculous. Apparently one time my mom took me as a 1.5-year-old baby, walked in her arms to the combat zone to find my father. Not very smart. A policeman stopped her and escorted her home with her little girl. Okay. Anyway, my mom just told me that recently, but what have you, my father. He even said about the black kid who apparently his wife was fucking a black guy, and he accepted, my father, did the right thing, and he's always been close to the kid, accepted him as well. But to say just ask him, he lived with us. Not to mention the fact I have an exceptional memory. A lot of people forget things. I write everything down, I remember, and he didn't live with us. Just ask him, just ask Diane. Fuck you, Dad. I have journals I kept. I know what you did to me, okay? You are not going to tell me that I lied to my brother, newfound brother. You are not going to tell me you can go fuck yourself, okay? You're poison. You poison everything, Laura. Look what you did. You're a liar. You're poison. Fuck you, Dad. Fuck you. You accept no responsibility for how you treated me. Whatever. You used to look at my gourd. I gained 35 pounds from age 14 to 17 just so you wouldn't look at me. No, you never touched me, but you'd leer at me. You'd make comments about my body and say things if I were 16 again. But on one hand, but on the other hand, if I wasn't perfect enough with chores or whatnot, or just being a quote-unquote lady, like you threw a knife at me across the table when I had my elbows on the table and I wasn't raised, the way you wanted to be me raised. What do you want? What the fuck do you want? You left when we were 2. My mother wound up with another abusive alcoholic, but whatever. On the one hand, when I wasn't perfect enough, nobody wants you. Your family doesn't want you. Your mother's crazy. I'm going to ship you back to your crazy mother, among other things. I wrote stuff down back then. I kept different kinds of, And on the other hand, oh, you're so beautiful, If I was 16 again and commenting on my body and whatnot, okay? I am not going to tell you that you let your brother to believe I was a pervert. Sorry, Dad, you were back then. Doesn't mean you are now. Doesn't mean my brother, our family, he should reject you. If he rejects you, that's on him, Dad. You did not give a fuck. You wanted me to just be with, converse with my brother and all happy, whatever. I mean, I had been in an abusive relationship for years and years and years. It ended nearly ended in my death, and you didn't care, okay? I have every right to tell my brother anything. So he understands that I'm not normal. Now we go back to my epiphany. I I want and need to be understood. Take sex, for example. Why was I so sexual as a kid? I don't know. I know that it was, but I know a lot of kids are. I know my alcoholic abusive stepfather and my mama used to encourage, they thought it was funny, me and my 7-year-old stepbrother, or even when he wasn't my stepbrother, he was worse, you know, my abusive alcoholic stepfather, who started off my mom's boyfriend. She was with him from ages 4 to 12, but she didn't marry him until I was 9, okay? But anyway, he was his kid, cutie pie. Was 7 and I was 9, and we used to play spin the bottle. We used to take baths together. That horrible white apartment that was located in Massachusetts, by the way. I was born and raised here. They used to think it was funny to encourage us to play spin the bottle, and I do remember trying to get the kid to fuck me. It didn't work. I guess it's not going to work with a 7-year-old with a little teeny little thing, but he did. I did lift up my nightgown and he did, you know, touch it, and that was cool. But, it was about my idea, the older woman. And like a lot of kids, you know, I fooled around with my cousins. We fooled around. I mean, they had a normal family life. But from what I found out, they were fooling around even. And the kids do that. Kids experiment, kids explore, kids whatever. So you can't blame my upbringing on that. But, see, the abusive alcoholic French kissed me when I was 9. I don't remember him doing anything else to me besides that. But when I was 11, 10, and this was probably, it may have been while after my mom got sick, it may have been while my mother was sick, or probably, but whatever. There's going to be a little camping thing in the camper that my abusive alcoholic stepfather's brother had brought to the house, and me and my 2 years younger than me stepbrother were going to camp out with Uncle Henry. I don't remember his name. Uncle Henry. And after my stepbrother fell sound asleep, Uncle Henry decided to show Laura, the beautiful Laura, by the way, very pretty, taller than everyone else in her class, at least when she was 8, 9, and 10, whatever. But when I moved to a new school, I don't think I was tall, but I was still tall, okay? And look, my dad told me, you look 16 when you're 10, you know, 11, whatever. Rubbing my back, saying things like, don't you want to know what it's all about? Etc., etc., etc. I got away from him. I struggled. I got away. I went inside. I never told anybody. A kid can make up anything. I was scared. I was out. I heard a noise, whatever. I didn't sleep out there that night. Andy did. My stepbrother did, but I didn't. I got away. I knew what Uncle Charlie or Uncle Henry, whoever he was doing, was wrong. Talking to me like I'm an adult, you know. Typical pervert, typical molester of children, pedophile, whatever, you know. So I got away. Was I affected and scarred by, I mean, but you have to understand I'm affected and scarred by everything, you know. That was a one-time incident. It wasn't like I was molested on a daily basis. Like, even friends I've had out here told me, you know, that happened to them, okay? I wasn't molested on a daily basis. Irv had another friend who I still have a letter from. He wrote to a 10 or 11-year-old girl, I love to see you touch yourself or whatever, because I used to have a bad habit. Actually, I've always had it. I don't know where but I had it when I was a kid too, and it wasn't sexual. It was compulsive, and my father's mother would say, "Why do you do that?" I don't know. In public, of like quickly rubbing myself, not sexual. I'm telling you, it's not sexual. It wasn't sexual. It didn't feel good. Even if I do it now, I mean, people adjust their underwear, whatever. You know, I hate underwear. But if I can get away with it, I don't even wear it. So But Irv also had a friend, and I have a letter from him that he gave to me at the time, and had I remembered that? No. Do I think that he ever touched me? No. But he waxed poetic. I have a 5-page little mini letter from him where he's writing this eloquent thing to who you would think was an adult. It wasn't. It's dated. It was to me. My dearest Laura, la, la, la. Oh, you're so beautiful. I love. Imagine a touch. But I forget what the letter said. I found it when I was an adult, and I hadn't remembered it, but it sparked my memory. And, so that's another thing. Remember, you're a weak woman, like my mom clearly was. You allow bad men into your child's life. You know, bad things can and will happen. It's just how it is. The abusive alcoholic stepfather had scummy friends, and he even had scummy family members. That's the way it is. What are you going to do, okay? So I got away. The worst thing was when I told my mom, not right away, but whenever I told her, maybe I told her a couple months from then, who knows when I told her. But I told her. It might have been a week later or something. I told her. She told her, and all hell broke loose. He called me a liar. He threatened to hurt me. I had to go stay with my friends because my mom said, he's going to hurt you, Laura. The great thing about her was he would warn us, I'm coming home to hurt you. You knew we were shit-faced. My mom and I would run away to a friend. We'd run through the woods in the back. We'd run away, whatever. But sometimes he wouldn't warn us, and he never hurt me, but I'd watch him hurt my mom. So why was I so sexual? I don't know. But anyway, let's flash forward. I'm still sexual to this day, but because of the abuse I suffered as an adult at the hands of Tom, my musician ex was a sweetheart, but he felt guilty about sex, okay? So he said it to me. I felt he had religious in him, or religious, whatever. He felt guilty about sex. How am I supposed to feel comfortable if you feel guilty? And then he had been married for 5 years. He apparently loved how she performed oral on him, and he would compare us. He shouldn't do either, and he'd be like, you know, SMC, use your imagination correctly. I'm thinking, you don't say that to somebody. If I'm doing something wrong, you teach me, whatever. But it just wasn't the kind of sex life I wanted, but it doesn't matter because I had been, when we started dating or whatever, I was doing phone sex with him. It doesn't matter. The fact is that the big thing was Donald, okay? Donald was a jerk. Donald made me feel guilty about my sexuality. With Donald, there was no changing positions. There was no lubricant. There was no experimenting. There was no me even daring to initiate sex. There was no... If I didn't stay excited, quote unquote, he'd accuse me, oh, you're just not attracted to me enough, okay? There was no switching positions. There was no... Maybe while we're having intercourse, no outside stimulation. You know what I mean? There was nothing. There was him crawling on top of me, ejaculating on my stomach. All about control with him. He wasn't even really into sex, so we didn't have sex very often, every couple months or something. And then, because he knew from day one I wouldn't stay with anyone, I wouldn't do that to me, because the guy I gave my virginity to wouldn't do that to me, and I would never put up with that again. Donald knew that, but he would just do it as quickly as possible. Nothing like what I see in porn, where the guy's excited, excited to do it and talks and says stuff and whatnot. Okay, so Donald really fucked me up. Donald fucked me up, and unfortunately that's the point I'm at now. For sure, I'm aching to be touched again, but I'm all fucked up, so, understandably so. You think of all the shit I've been through from brewing until now. So I would have to be with a certain kind of guy who made me comfortable just because he desired me so much, you know. That's the bottom line, passion, and in here, and that he desired me, and then I'm sure I could let go, but yeah, it's all about wanting to be understood, because I want to understand why my mom turned out the way she did. Remember, she had a different father than Mary, okay? But so did the aunt with cancer, and the aunt with cancer used to have this of herself. I can vouch for it. She's always been normal, no mental illness to speak of, no, just normal. I mean, why? She's only a couple years younger. Why did my mom and my mom's other sister, who's dead from cancer right now, but who was, like my mom, weak and in abusive relationships and mentally ill and whatnot, okay? Even with men who molested her children, as far as we know, or may have, you know. Why? Why did it escape the aunt who was cancer? She used to ask the same thing. She asked it of mental illness, but she also could have, she wound up with a wonderful man, too. Why? I don't know, but I'll tell you, my cousins were all married and well-adjusted with kids and, you know, normal up, normal downs, whatever. And I turned out to be a fucked up basket case. I mean, but my mom, I would like to know from her, but I don't think she'll know, because she doesn't want to really talk about it. I don't blame her, but I'd like to know my family history, because the aunt with cancer is the only one that turned out normal. The others suffered mental illness, and my mom and her other sister, who's dead now, were weak, wound up with abusive men who hurt their children, you know. Just like my mom wound up with abusive men who hurt me. Okay. Physical hurt is not the only hurt, people. If you think it is, then you're just ignorant, okay? No, I was never beaten by anybody. I mean, I have a thing when I was 12, or Irv was back in my mom's life. We had lost everything. We lost the beautiful house. We were living with Marion's alcoholic father, and filth, and puke, and on the toilet would fill the brim, and would flush, and puke, and my mom was sick, and she had Irv back in her life, and I have in my journal, remember, I was smart. It's my intelligence, my depth, my awareness, why I didn't wind up a fucking hooker or dead or whatever, that I'm still alive and kicking, more or less. But anyway, he was back. Take him out, see if he'll go cocker outside.
He already went.
In your room?
Yeah, in the middle of the night.
What are we gonna do?
We'll go caca outside, all in the snow.
It's probably, some of it's melted by now. Anyway, I have in a journal I kept when I was 12, and I still have it in my storage journal. A 32-year-old diary. Everyone even a little older than that. I was writing it when I was 10. I wrote down how Irvin treated me. I wrote down how I was trying to keep track, because he would say he wasn't drinking anymore, and I knew he was. He tried to fuck up the night I was starring in school play when I was 10. He did fuck it up. I mean, I did good and everything, but he was drinking ahead of time and was mean to me and whatnot. I had that in my But in the one I kept when I was 12, I wrote down something like, I fucking won't clean my room. Like about Irv, he has some nerve. Him about me after what he did. He drank all the time. He caused my mother to go wacko and all this crap. And at the same time where I wrote how I love sex and people think I'm so nice and I don't want to love God and I want boys to love me and blah blah whatever. Okay. I have it. I actually created a video where I've said it. I just don't know where the video is. It's out here somewhere. So I want to be understood. Marion, back when I was in my 20s and she was trying to whatever, I have a letter from her they kept. Unfortunately, it was in the fucking I lost where she admitted she was a cocaine for years and I wanted to be able to use that as leverage. Anyway, and she wrote, just like anybody, Laura, you just want to be understood. And, I understand that, because you don't know this about me. I was addicted to cocaine. Like to ask my mom. I shouldn't have been talking about it, but why? Yeah, with cancer, escaped the madness, escaped the mental illness, escaped the getting involved with abusive men, escaped the low self-esteem that causes a woman to get involved with abusive men. You don't get involved with abusive men in general, I'm sure, if you have a high degree of self-esteem. The second the guy hits you once, you leave him. I mean, it's not rocket science. If he starts going to the bathroom as a habit now every night in her room, he's never going to get a cold star. He didn't used to do that. It's winter. Winter fucked him up. Winter fucked him up, and
He went pee on the box.
On what box?
The box we got yesterday.
The Cuisinart?
Yeah.
Wonderful. What are you gonna do, Mom? What are you gonna do? We're not gonna get rid of him. We love him. He's a bad dog. I mean.
Bad dog. It's my fault. I didn't get up in time.
You definitely didn't get up in time.
I thought he would wait.
Yeah.